afternoon, everyone, and welcome to DIY Crafts. So today we are totally crafting with plants, as you can see, and bottles, as you can also see. So what we are doing, I don't know if you've been to the store lately to buy your own planter spots, but they're kind of pricey, like they're pretty up there. So I am going to teach you guys how to upcycle some pretty cool bottles into some pretty cool planter spots. So I have in front of me some supplies. I have some plants that came in pretty ugly pots already that I want to transplant into prettier pots. I have a sharp knife. This is a box cutter. It'll work really well. Any other sharp knife would work as well. If not, scissors will always work as well. And then I have some twine here. And of course, because we are doing bottle planters or upcycled bottle planters pots, we do have various bottles in front of me. So this is a perfectly round bottle, kind of shallow, but it'll work. This bottle right here, I'm just gonna kind of take this out, was a Coke bottle that I went ahead and cut in half. And you can leave it just with the bottom half and throw this part away, or if you cut it in half and give it cute little ears to make a cat out of it. So I painted it white, or paint it any color you like. You can even do round ears if you wanted to do a dog instead of a cat, and then go ahead and add a cute face to it. And just like that, you've upcycled a bottle into a planter spot. The other option you can do, and I really like this, if you guys have been following along this craft program for the last couple months, we did a milk jug planter pot that we wrapped in twine, and the perk of that, it was a self-watering. So I didn't throw away the top, but I painted the top as well. And all I'm going to do is put the top inside and invert it like this. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that twine. I'm going to put it down in the center there to make sure it goes all the way through like this. So the water is going to sit at the bottom here. And when the plant is ready, it'll soak up this twine. The water will soak up the twine and water the plant. Almost like a soaker hose would work. The twine will get wet and then speed up the water to the plant. So that's kind of a really cool way to do an inverted plant holder. If you're not a fan of that and you don't want to do that, you don't have to use the top. You can toss this. But I am all for, one, having a place for the water of the plant to drain, and two, letting the extra water that drains down to the bottom feed back up as the plant gets thirsty. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and now that I've shown you guys how this works and you've seen how cute it looks all painted and stuff, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this really cool zinnia I bought in this plant. So I have a lot of extra soil that I definitely don't need. So I'm gonna shake off all this extra soil that I don't need at all. And there's my plant, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put it right in the center here. And just like that. Whoopsie, there we go. That's one way to do it. There we go. So now what's gonna happen is, I dirtied my kitty. I have my little cat planter spot, just like that. And my zinnia is gonna grow and flower and going to be awesome. So the cool thing about this, again, is as you water it from the top, all that extra water is gonna drain out to the bottom here. And then as the plant gets thirsty, the twine is gonna soak up that water and continue to water the plant until this pot is completely empty. So I just wanted to point that out to you guys and see how cool of a creative cat pot you've made, and it costs you nothing because you already had the bottle. So that's just one. Leave this guy here so you guys can take a look at it. The other one that we made, or that I made the other day, is with a plain Jane water bottle. I did was I created kind of like a little mouse out of it, if you will, and I wrapped twine around the front, cut a hole down the center, and gave it little eyeballs. So this is what we're going to do today. And then I have a mint plant that I would like to put in this. So this is the second one we're going to make. Get rid of all this dirt. Let this one hang out so you guys can see it. I'm going to hang out with my cat over here. So what you want to do, you want to take a regular bottle like this. I'm going to keep the cover on it because it makes it nice and tight and full of air. Helps it when I cut it and feel like cut into it. And all you're going to want to do, take your box cutter or your sharp knife or scissors, either one, and you're just going to cut a square out in the top. And that square is going to be where your plant goes. So I'm going to cut out a pretty decent sized square to the best of my ability. And I'm going to cut that. It doesn't have to be a perfect square. It can be a really, well, it's not a square, sorry. It doesn't have to be a perfect rectangle. So I'm just going to bend this back and use my scissors to cut off this extra flap. Ta-da! You just cut the square out like this. And then all you're going to do is wrap twine around here and wrap twine around here. And then what you can do is you can paint this a color for your nose and give it some eyeballs. So the wrapping of the twine is actually fairly straightforward. What I tend to do, because I find it easier, is I just take a little bit of glue and I put it directly on the bottle itself. So I'll do a little bit on the front, a little bit on the bottom, and then of course right where it meets the neck of the bottle, like so. If you didn't want to put it directly on the bottle, what you could do is soak your twine in glue, but I find it's a little bit easier to not do that. So we're going to go ahead and then just start wrapping. So I'm going to do this. Wrap the twine around it, and then just keep on wrapping. Get that little piece of twine down here. So you're going to start at the neck of the bottle and then just work your way around. And once you get going pretty well, it's going to look pretty cool. So give me a second here to get this working. I'll show you guys how it looks. So it's going to start billowing up here, and you're just going to start wrapping it around down the bottom. I like to do it this way because then it pulls the glue up. And I haven't done this bottle yet, so every bottle's a little bit different. This one is just not working very well. Here we go. So you want it to, now that I got a bunch of glue on here, layer on itself. There we go. So you might get your fingers a little gluey, but in the end it's all worth it. So all I'm doing is letting the twine kind of build up upon itself, and I'll do a close-up on the other one just so you guys can see it a little bit better. But what you could do with this is you can grab some felt scraps and put some ears on it and make it like a little a mouse. You can make it a bunny rabbit, whatever you want. And the cool thing is this is a really good bottle for like a windowsill planter because it's so small. I have a bunch of really tiny shelves in my house that I can't put too much on, and that's what I was kind of going for with this. Is it makes kind of a little decorative way to put your plants, and it looks really cool if you do some kind of viney plant, which is why I decided to go with the mint, because you can see that it's starting to vine out a little. And I don't know if you've ever had it, but mint in water is really delicious. So just gonna keep going all the way here. a big fan of glue on your fingers, you can always use gloves. And then once you get the hang of it, it just keeps going around here until you get to your hole up here. So I'm gonna go around a couple more times. Until I get to that hole. And as I'm rolling across, I'm actually rolling my finger through the glue just to spread that glue around a bit too. Alrighty, just like this. So you might ask, why do I not do the whole thing? Let's see. I want to leave this center open, and I actually like to see the water level. That way you're not drowning your plant. I mean, the negative aspect about the planter's pots that you get at the store is you can't really see how much water your plant has because the container's not clear. But this is going to show you the water line. Like right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you can see that there's a water line here. So what you're going to do is you're going to wrap twine around the front of the bottle and wrap twine around the second half of the bottle and just leave the center open. And what you're going to see is just the front of this. And so you can paint this for your nose, either black or pink, whatever color you want to use. And then you're going to put two little eyeballs right here for beads, little bead eyeballs. Or you can use the googly eyes. It's totally up to you. I'm going to put a little bit more glue here and just do a little half a row. Because I cut my bottle a little crooked. So you can go for as long as you want here. It's totally up to you how far around you want to go. And it also kind of depends on how big your plant is as well. But let me do a little bit more and then we'll put the plant in and I'll show you guys how it looks. So it's up to you too is if you want to do both ends with the twine. I did the first one with both ends of the twine and I really like how it looks, but I think this one I'm just going to do the top end. So that's really the side you're going to see. And then I just used a permanent marker to paint the top black. Or if you wanted it pink, you can use pink paint or a pink paint pen, whatever you have handy. So I'm going to go a little bit more here so you guys can see. And to make sure I used up all my glue. Alright, and when you're done and you get to the end, you're just going to use your scissors. Cut the twine. So then it looks just like this. Pretty cool. And then it's as easy as taking your plant. I like to kind of, this is really, really wet plant, so I'm going to loosen this up a little and try and get some of the soil loose around it so I can spread it around. Might use some of the soil down below here. I'm going to take this wad of soil and go ahead and fill the front of the bottle and the back of the bottle like this, leaving the middle open so that I can put this part in the center. And you might need more or less dirt. This would be a really, really cool holder for some succulents because they don't take up a lot of space and they don't need a lot of dirt. And you also, when you water succulents, you want to make sure that you are not overwatering them. So this could be like a really cool way to do some terrariums for free or some for cheap prices because you already bought the bottle. So here we go here. My hands are going to be super dirty, but that's okay. I'm going to get rid of some of this extra dirt. Get rid of this extra dirt. And then you've kind of created like a chia pet, which is pretty awesome. And that's pretty much it. Once you have it done, it looks pretty cool. I mean, this is super simple. This is not not a crazy craft, not any of the things that we usually do here. But I just wanted to show you how cool it looks to just upcycle a bottle. And then all you would do is you can put this on your shelf and you can see the water lines, or you can put this on a bookshelf and kind of let it cascade down, which would look really cool. So I have these two. And then this one was my favorite, but unfortunately this one took me a really long time to do because I had to wait for the paint to dry because we have a time crunch. But let me show you guys how it came out. Ooh. So this one is by far my favorite because it's got a cute little cat. And it's just made out of a Coca-Cola bottle. So that one's my favorite. And then this one's my second because it's got cute little eyeballs and a black nose. And you would just put this on a shelf somewhere. So that's pretty much it. That's all I have for today. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. This simple craft that you can do in the afternoon, you can do it with your kids. And if you've already bought the bottle of soda or the water bottle, then you already are halfway there. And it's a good way, instead of just recycling them, to find a cool way to use your bottles that you have lying around the house. Especially this one because it's self-watering. So I hope you enjoyed today's craft. If you really enjoyed it, leave me a lovely little note in the comments or use our survey to let us know how we're doing. And if you haven't signed up for summer reading yet, don't forget to do that. If you attended this program today, you can use it as an activity and put that activity towards winning or potentially winning a gift card to local area restaurants. So every activity you log, every book you log goes towards giving you a raffle ticket to enter into that random drawing. Alrighty, until next week, I'll see you guys all then.